Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on one of the biggest mysteries in the animal kingdom. How a cat says, "I'm sorry," and, more importantly, why we, as their humans, have been getting it wrong this whole time.
You know the scene, right? You've had a ridiculously long day. You finally get home, and your cat, in a blur of pure, unadulterated chaos, sends your absolute favorite mug crashing to the floor. You look at them, you're annoyed, and they just stare back. There's no guilt, no cowering. They just turn around, give a little tail flick, and walk away.
It's a moment so many of us have lived through. It reminds me of this story about Sarah and her cat, Oliver. He sent her brand new laptop flying off the table, and when she yelled, he just bolted. Later, he wouldn't even come near her, and she went to bed that night feeling like she was living with a tiny, furry roommate who basically just tolerated her for the free food. Sound familiar?
But what if I told you that in that exact moment, and in all the little moments that followed, your cat was in fact apologizing to you, and that you've just completely missed it? This isn't just some cute theory. Your cat is speaking a different language, a really subtle and sophisticated one that we just haven't been taught how to understand, until right now. Okay, so first things first, let's tackle the biggest myth head on. This whole idea that cats are these cold, indifferent creatures who couldn't care less. The notion that cats don't feel guilt or remorse, it turns out that's just plain wrong.
Part of the problem, honestly, is that we've been totally conditioned by dogs. I mean, when a dog is sorry, you know it. You get the tucked tail, the cowering, those classic puppy dog eyes. It's impossible to miss. But cats? They're playing a totally different game. Their signals, things like slow blinks and head bunting, are so quiet and subtle that we've been completely missing the exact same emotion.
And listen, this isn't just wishful thinking from cat lovers. This is backed up by some serious research from institutions all over the world. We're talking studies from the University of Lincoln, the University of Sussex, and Japanese feline behavior experts. And they've all documented these things called affiliative behaviors that just so happen to spike right after a conflict between a cat and their human. These are deliberate, they're intentional, and yep, they are apologetic.
So here's the big takeaway. Our cats have been speaking this ancient language of apology that's evolved over thousands of years. It's about time we learn to listen. And we're going to start with the most important phrase in their entire vocabulary. The slow blink. We've all seen this, right? That long, super intentional, almost exaggerated closing of both eyes. Research from the University of Sussex actually confirmed this isn't about being sleepy. It's a very specific form of communication. By closing their eyes in front of you, a potential predator, they're making themselves completely vulnerable. In the animal kingdom, that is the ultimate sign of trust. But here's the crucial part that turns it into an apology, the context. When your cat makes a point to get where you can see them, makes eye contact, and gives you that slow blink after things have been tense, that's not just a casual gesture. They are watching you. They are waiting for your reaction. They are directly asking for reassurance. They're basically saying, "Hey, are we okay? Because I really want us to be okay."
All right, next up, head bunting. You know, when your cat firmly presses their forehead or their cheek right against you. Well, this is way more than just a cute nuzzle. This is some deep, scientific stuff happening. Cats have these scent glands all over their faces that produce unique pheromones. And when they rub on you, they're not just being affectionate, they are literally marking you.
Think of it like this. In a house with multiple cats, they'll all headbutt each other to create a shared colony scent. It's like their family group chat. It identifies who's in the club. So, when your cat does this to you right after a fight, it's a much more serious act. They are actively remarking you, reestablishing that bond, and basically screaming, "Whatever just went down, I need to make sure we're still us. You're still in my family."
Okay, so we've got the slow blink and the head bunting down. But believe me, this language gets even more nuanced. Now we're going to look at how cats use their entire bodies and even their voices to ask for our forgiveness.
Let's talk about the question mark tail. It's such a precise signal. A tail held straight up, that's confidence. But that little curve at the very tip, that's the key. That's the vulnerability. It turns a bold statement into a gentle question. And when they approach you like this after a conflict, often coming at you from the side so they seem less threatening, that's basically the feline equivalent of waving a white flag.
Now, let's talk about sound. Have you ever heard that soft, rolling murp sound? That's called a trill, and where it comes from is absolutely fascinating. Mother cats use this exact sound to tell their kittens, "I'm right here everything's okay, you're safe. And what researchers like Dr. John Bradshaw have found is that adult cats bring this sound back and use it specifically with us, their humans.
And if you think that's incredible, get this. Research also shows that cats actually learn to change their meows. They add a rising inflection, a questioning tone, because they have studied you. They know exactly what sounds pull at your human heartstrings. So when they use that specific, soft, repetitive meow after you've been upset, they are trying to connect with you emotionally, asking for reassurance in the exact voice they know you can't resist.
So we have all these individual signals, the blink, the bunt, the tail, the trill, but the real aha moment is realizing these things aren't random. They are part of a deliberate sequence, a ritual of reconciliation that shows just how complex and sophisticated your cat's emotional world really is.
Let's just walk through the whole apology sequence. First, there's the look. They'll get into your line of sight, maybe from across the room, and offer that slow blink. Then comes the approach. They'll move towards you but in a curved path with that question mark tail held high. Then, the question. They stop just out of arm's reach and offer that soft trill, asking for permission to come closer. If you give a positive sign, they move to the reconnection, coming in for the head bunt. And finally, the resolution. They settle down near you, and you can literally feel the tension in the room just melt away.
This is not just instinct, people. This is your cat performing a complex ritual that demonstrates something called theory of mind, which is a basic understanding that you have feelings that are separate from their own. They get that something went wrong. They know that you might be upset, and they are taking specific, active steps to manage your emotions and fix the bond between you. They are literally doing emotional labor. Which, of course, brings us to the most important question of all. How are we supposed to respond? Because our reaction is everything. It determines whether our cat is going to keep being this emotionally open with us. Your reaction can either make your bond 100 times stronger, or it can teach them that trying to apologize is completely useless.
So here's how you get it right. First, just acknowledge their effort verbally. A simple, "Hey there," in a calm, gentle voice is all you need. Second, mirror their behavior. They slow blink at you, you slowly blink right back at them. Third, and this is a big one, respect their pace. Let them come all the way to you. And finally, maybe the hardest part for us, you have to reset emotionally. Once they've done their part, they're ready to move on, and we need to be ready to move on too.
And please, whatever you do, avoid these common mistakes. Don't ignore their signals. Don't stay visibly angry or give them the cold shoulder after they've made the effort. And never, ever force them into a cuddle when they're in that cautious approach phase. All these things do is break their trust and teach your cat that their language doesn't work on you. When you get this right, though, something truly magical happens. Your bond deepens in a way you can't even imagine. Your cat feels safer, they feel understood. You're not just the person who opens the cans of food anymore. You become family, like true family, someone they can have these complicated emotional conversations with, someone they can actually trust with their vulnerability.
So now you know, those slow blinks, those head bunts, those little trills, every single one has been your cat speaking to you, saying, "I love you, I'm sorry, are we okay?" You now speak a language that most people in the world will never, ever know. So the only real question left is this. Now that you speak their language, what is your cat trying to tell you?
Before you go, remember this. Your cat is doing something right now that most owners completely miss. At Feline Frontier, we don't just share cute cat facts. We uncover the hidden meanings, the quiet signals, and the strange behaviors your cat uses every single day to communicate with you. From the sounds that instantly calm a stressed cat, to the tiny habits that prove they trust you, to the mistakes that silently hurt them more than you realize. Everything here is designed to help you understand your cat on a deeper level. So if you've ever looked at your cat and thought, "What are you really trying to tell me?" You're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe to Feline Frontier, because the next video might explain something your cat has been waiting years for you to understand. See you in the next frontier of feline truth.